Welcome back to Elderly Guidance. And hey, if you find this deep dive into sleep helpful, well, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. That way, you won't miss our future explorations.
Definitely. Today, we're diving deep into the world of natural sleep enhancers. We're looking at 8 specific foods, really potent ones, and how they might significantly improve your sleep quality.
Exactly. And we know so many of you listening probably understand that frustration, right? Just tossing and turning, trouble drifting off, maybe waking up feeling like you haven't, slept at all. It really takes a toll.
It really does. And it's true, as we age, particularly around 50 or so, our sleep patterns often shift. Your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm, it just becomes a bit less robust. And those natural cues that used to signal sleep, they aren't quite as strong.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the good news, and this is what we're focusing on, is that nature offers some, well, incredible solutions. We're going to explore some powerful, natural, totally safe, real foods, things that work with your body, helping you rediscover what truly restful sleep feels like. No chemicals, nothing made in a lab here.
Right. And the real beauty of these natural approaches, I think, is the potential for lasting change. You're supporting your body's own sleep mechanisms, not just, masking symptoms. You're essentially helping it relearn how to rest deeply, consistently, which leads to more energy during the day, fewer frustrating nights.
And maybe if you're currently using sleep aids, well, hopefully this deep dive offers some insights, a potentially more natural path towards better sleep. So yeah, let's get into it. What's the first food? The first one that can help unlock a better night's rest.
Okay, so our first and often really underestimated ally is the humble banana.
Bananas.
Right.
So common. You almost don't think of them as like a sleep aid.
Huh.
What is it about bananas that makes them potentially helpful here?
It really comes down to a powerful combination of 3 essential nutrients. You've got potassium, vitamin B6, and magnesium. And they kind of work together in this really fascinating way to promote, well, neurological relaxation.
Okay, right. So let's dig into that a bit. How do those specific nutrients actually help our bodies get ready for sleep?
Well, potassium and magnesium, they're both crucial for muscle relaxation. Think of it like easing that physical tension you build up during the day. Magnesium especially, it acts like a block for calcium, which tells muscles to contract. So magnesium helps them relax.
Ah, interesting. So they're actively helping muscles kind of unwind.
Precisely. And then there's vitamin B6. Now, B6 is vital for converting tryptophan, that's an amino acid, into serotonin.
Serotonin. Okay, the feel-good chemical.
Right. But it's more than that. It's key for mood, yes, but it's also the direct precursor to melatonin.
Ah, okay. So it's like a step in the chain that leads right to the main sleep hormone.
Exactly right. Serotonin gets metabolized into melatonin in the pineal gland. And that whole pathway, from tryptophan to serotonin, then to melatonin, it's supported by the stuff in bananas.
You mentioned someone, a listener, who saw improvements.
Yes, Rosa. She's 65, and she was really struggling with waking up in the middle of the night, restless legs too. She started eating a ripe banana, the ones with the brown spots, easier to digest about an hour before bed. And she found her restless legs calmed down and her sleep just got deeper, more consistent over time.
Wow, such a simple change, but what a potential impact. Any tips to maybe boost that effect?
Well, for a really soothing evening treat, you could try like a warm banana, like an ice cream, just frozen bananas blended with a bit of warm oat milk. The warmth itself is comforting.
Oh, that actually sounds delicious
Yeah.
and easy.
And here's something interesting, slightly greener bananas. They contain resistant starch. It's a type of fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut. And there's growing research, on this gut-brain connection showing these bacteria can produce things that help regulate sleep.
Huh. So even the ripeness matters.
It can, yeah. And the key thing to remember is that bananas are gently supporting your body's natural processes. It's not like a medicine that just flips an on-off switch. You're giving your body the building blocks.
Okay, definitely more to bananas than meets the eye. What's next on our list? Food number 2.
Next up, we have almonds, often just seen as a healthy snack for daytime, right?
Right.
But they're also powerful allies for getting a restful night.
Almonds. Yeah, I usually grab those for energy midday. Kind of surprising for sleep.
They are good for energy, absolutely, but their nutrient profile makes them great for sleep too. Like bananas, they're a really good source of magnesium, which, as we just talked about, is key for relaxation.
Magnesium again. Seems like a really important player in calming things down.
It absolutely is. It plays such a fundamental role in the nervous system. It helps regulate neurotransmitters that, calm the brain, get the body ready for sleep. By being that sort of natural calcium blocker, it reduces nerve excitement, muscle tension.
So it's directly influencing how our nervous system starts to wind down. What else do almonds bring to the table for sleep?
Well, almonds might also help regulate cortisol. That's our main stress hormone. You ever lie awake at night, just mind racing?
Oh, definitely. All the time.
Yeah. Elevated cortisol could be part of that. And some studies suggest nutrients in almonds can help moderate those levels.
Okay, tackling the stress hormone side too. Interesting.
And they also contain vitamin E, which is a potent antioxidant. Oxidative stress, basically an imbalance in your body, can mess with lots of things, including sleep. Vitamin E helps fight that inflammation at a cellular level, which could lead to deeper, more restorative sleep.
So working on stress hormones and cellular health, all pointing towards better sleep.
Exactly. And don't forget the healthy fats in almonds. These are really important for stabilizing blood sugar levels through the night. You know that feeling waking up suddenly in the early morning? Could be a blood sugar dip triggering a mild stress response. The fats in almonds provide sustained energy, help prevent those dips.
That makes total sense. I've had that shaky feeling waking up before.
So for the sleep benefits, usually just a small handful, maybe about an hour before bed, is enough. And soaking them for a few hours first, that can be beneficial too.
Why soaking? What does that do?
Soaking can help reduce phytic acid. It's a compound in nuts that can sometimes interfere with mineral absorption for some people. Soaking just helps make that magnesium and other good stuff a bit more available to your body. And speaking of evening routines, let's talk about something many people reach for thinking it's safe: decaf coffee.
Decaf. Yeah. Seems like the go-to evening coffee, right?
Well, it is lower in caffeine, but it usually still has somewhere between, say, 3 to 10% of the caffeine of regular coffee. And if you're sensitive, even that small amount can disrupt sleep.
Wow. Okay. So not completely caffeine-free then.
Not entirely. And then there's the decaffeination process itself. Often uses chemical solvents like ethyl acetate or methylene chloride. Now, they're generally considered safe in tiny amounts, but there's some research suggesting they might subtly affect neurotransmitters in really sensitive folks.
That's definitely something to think about.
And there's the psychological angle too, right? For so many of us, the smell, the taste, the whole ritual of coffee screams alertness. That conditioned response can still kind of stimulate your brain, even with decaf. Makes it harder to fully relax.
Your brain gets mixed signals.
Exactly. It might subconsciously signal action time when you actually need it to wind down for that deep sleep stuff, clearing out brain clutter, immune reboot, cell repair, all that. So even if you're doing everything else right, no screens, calm environment, that evening decaf could be quietly undermining your efforts.
Okay, so what's a better choice then?
A much gentler option is a warm herbal infusion, like properly made chamomile tea, which we'll get to.
Okay, good. A little foreshadowing there.
Yeah, and you might actually find that just switching from that decaf to a natural infusion could lead to noticeable sleep improvements in just a few nights. Decaf can be like a silent robber of that deep sleep you need, even though it seems harmless.
That's a really crucial point about decaf. Okay, so we've covered bananas, almonds. What's our third sleep-boosting food?
Our third one is a real gem: cherries. Particularly tart cherries, sometimes called nature's sleep reset button.
Cherries.
Yeah.
Interesting. I enjoy them, but never really thought of them for sleep.
Yeah, most people don't realize that cherries, especially the tart varieties like Montmorency, are actually a natural source of melatonin.
Oh, wow. Melatonin itself.
Yes, the primary hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. And things like stress, just getting older, looking at screens late at night, these can all suppress our body's natural melatonin production.
And cherries can help top that up.
Exactly. Eating maybe 10 to 15 fresh or frozen tart cherries, or even drinking some pure tart cherry juice about an hour before bed. It can help boost your body's melatonin levels. It signals to your brain, hey, it's time to wind down, helps reestablish a more regular rhythm. But there's more to it than just the melatonin.
Okay, what else do they offer?
Tart cherries are packed with anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants with really strong anti-inflammatory properties. And there's emerging research suggesting that low-level inflammation, especially in the brain, can disrupt sleep patterns.
So it's tackling inflammation too.
Right. By combating that sort of silent inflammation, the anthocyanins might contribute to a more balanced, restorative sleep. You might wake up feeling clearer, more refreshed.
Helping with hormones and brain health. That's powerful.
Precisely. They facilitate that shift towards deeper sleep stages, which is where all the important physical healing and mental rejuvenation happens overnight. They can also be a great ally for keeping your sleep schedule steady when the daylight hours change with the seasons.
Oh yeah, that's really helpful during those transitions.
One really crucial point with cherries, though, try to choose fresh or frozen. Dried cherries often have a lot of added sugar, which can actually spike your energy right before bed, the opposite of what you want.
Good tip. Avoid the sugary ones. How best to eat them then?
Just enjoy them plain. Or blend them into a smoothie, maybe with some almond milk. A light evening snack.
A cherry smoothie.
Well-
Sounds lovely. Okay, on to number 4.
Number 4 is another one that might surprise you, but it has solid science behind it. Kiwi fruit, the green protector of sleep.
Kiwi.
Yeah.
That fuzzy little fruit. Usually just think vitamin C powerhouse.
It is loaded with vitamin C, absolutely. But research, especially coming out of New Zealand, has shown that eating 1 or 2 kiwis before bed can significantly improve how fast you fall asleep and how long you stay asleep.
Really? That's fascinating. What's the mechanism there? What makes kiwis work?
Well, one key factor seems to be their high serotonin content. And as we know, serotonin is crucial for mood, but it's also that direct precursor to melatonin.
Boosting that same pathway again, like the bananas.
Exactly. By providing your body with serotonin, kiwis help promote relaxation, emotional stability, basically setting the stage for sleep.
Okay.
Plus, they are packed with antioxidants like vitamin C and E. We keep coming back to antioxidants, don't we?
We do. Seems really important for good sleep.
It is. They help reduce oxidative stress, which, like we said with almonds, can negatively impact brain function and your sleep quality.
Makes sense.
And here's a fun fact. The skin of the kiwi. It actually contains even more fiber and antioxidants than the flesh.
Get out. You can eat the skin.
You absolutely can. Just give it a good, gentle scrub first. Might seem a bit weird, but you get extra benefits. And that fiber supports a healthy digestive system, which we're learning has a huge connection to sleep quality via that gut-brain axis.
Oh, okay. Might have to try eating the skin then.
Worth a shot. And for maybe an extra sleep boost, try pairing a kiwi with half a banana about an hour before bed.
Why that combo?
Well, you get the tryptophan from the banana, plus the serotonin from the kiwi. It could work together to enhance melatonin production even more.
It's like a little sleep cocktail.
Kind of. Or blend them into a creamy smoothie, maybe with some warm oat milk again. Very soothing. And beyond sleep, kiwis might help with anxiety, irritation, even muscle soreness. All things that can definitely get in the way of good rest. Now, our next food, sauerkraut. This one needs a bit more careful handling to get the sleep benefits.
Sauerkraut. Wow, okay. That's definitely unexpected. I associate that with like savory meals, daytime food.
You're right, it's not your typical bedtime snack at all. And to use it for sleep, you have to be thoughtful. Definitely avoid mixing it with things like wine or chocolate or really high-fat foods close to bedtime. That can kind of mess with neurotransmitter balance and digestion.
Okay, so timing and what you pair it with is really key here.
Absolutely critical. For sleep, you want just small amounts, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. And ideally, pair it with a complex carbohydrate source, think oats or brown rice, and eat it at least 2 hours before you plan to sleep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Not right before hitting the pillow.
No, definitely not. And avoid having it with heavy proteins like red meat or super processed dinner foods. That can slow digestion way down, lead to bloating or discomfort, which obviously isn't great for sleep.
Right.
And it's also really important to listen to your body with fermented foods. Some people can be sensitive to the histamines, so watch out for things like flushing, itchy skin, maybe a dull headache when you wake up.
Good point. Pay attention to how you react individually.
Yeah. If you're keen, you can make your own pretty easily, just cabbage and salt, fermented.
Yeah.
Or if buying, always look for raw, unpasteurized sauerkraut. Pasteurization kills off those beneficial live probiotics, which are part of the point.
Okay, raw and unpasteurized. What's the actual sleep benefit connection?
Well, sauerkraut is rich in vitamin C, which we know can help reduce cortisol levels. Lower cortisol generally means better sleep. But here's a caution. If you take iron supplements, be careful about having them with sauerkraut in the evening. Vitamin C boosts iron absorption, and really high iron levels might potentially interfere with melatonin production, so maybe separate those.
Another important interaction to be aware of.
Yeah. But when used correctly, sauerkraut can offer benefits for that gut-brain connection, which is increasingly linked to sleep. It's just nuanced.
Definitely a lot to consider with sauerkraut. Not quite as simple as eating a banana. What's number 6?
Okay, number 6 is another one that might seem like a daytime food. Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Again, I think breakfast, sustained energy for the morning.
And it is fantastic for that. But those same properties actually make it a really valuable sleep aid if you eat it correctly in the evening. It helps stabilize blood sugar, soothes the nervous system, and can gently prepare your body for sleep.
Okay, how does oatmeal do that before bed? What's the science?
It's that combination again. Magnesium, zinc, and those wonderful slow-digesting complex carbs. Magnesium calms the nervous system, relaxes muscles. Zinc is involved in making melatonin. And the carbs. They provide that slow, gradual release of glucose, keeping blood sugar steady all night long.
So it stops those middle-of-the-night blood sugar crashes that can wake you up.
Exactly. So many people wake up between, say, 2 and 4 a.m., and it's often due to a dip in blood sugar. Your body kind of panics slightly. Oatmeal provides that steady fuel, helps prevent that panic response.
That makes so much sense.
Plus, oats contain a unique compound called avenin. It has mild sedative qualities. It can help quiet that mental chatter, that racing mind, without making you feel groggy the next day.
Okay, quieting the mind. That sounds incredibly useful. Any recipe ideas?
Super simple. Cook maybe half a cup of rolled oats in some warm almond or oat milk. Sprinkle on some cinnamon, maybe add a small handful of walnuts or almonds. Boosts the calming effect and blood sugar regulation even more. Or, even simpler, blend a tablespoon of ground oats into that banana and plant milk smoothie we talked about. Light, easy to digest. And some research suggests people who eat oats regularly actually spend more time in deep sleep.
Really, deep sleep. That's the really restorative kind.
It's the one. Crucial for physical and mental recovery. So yeah, if you struggle with restless nights, feeling drained, maybe try a small bowl of oatmeal a couple hours before bed.
That is a fantastic, unexpected tip. Okay, moving on to number 7. This one feels more classic for relaxation. Chamomile. And just a quick reminder, if you're finding these tips helpful, we'd love it if you hit subscribe. Helps us bring you more great advice like this.
Yes, chamomile, the classic herbal infusion, right? Synonymous with peace, calm. But, and this is a big but, its effectiveness for sleep really depends on how you prepare it. Just dunking a tea bag in hot water for a minute, honestly, it's probably not doing much. It's too weak.
Okay, so it really is all about the brew then.
It absolutely is. The key compound in chamomile is something called apigenin. It's a flavonoid, and it actually binds to specific receptors in your brain, similar ones that some anti-anxiety medications target. It produces these relaxing, sedative-like effects, but naturally, without the side effects.
Wow, nature's own calming agent.
Pretty much. But apigenin is delicate, so you need to brew it right to extract it properly.
Okay, lay it on us. How do we brew chamomile correctly for maximum sleep power?
Right. First, try to use dried, whole chamomile flowers instead of just the dust in tea bags. They hold more essential oils.
Whole flowers, got it.
Use about 1 heaping spoonful per cup. Now, water temperature. Bring water to a boil, then let it sit for maybe 70 seconds, just until the rolling boil stops, but it's still steaming. Around 175, 180 Fahrenheit. You don't want to scorch the apigenin with boiling water.
Okay, hot but not boiling, then what?
Pour that hot water over the flowers. Use a ceramic or glass mug, not metal, as metal can sometimes react. And here's the crucial part. Cover the mug while it steeps for at least 10 minutes.
Covered. Why did covered?
To trap those volatile essential oils. If you leave it uncovered, all the good calming stuff just evaporates away with the steam.
Ah, makes sense. Keep the goodness in. 10 minutes minimum. Anything else?
You can boost it by adding other calming herbs like passion flower or lemon balm to the steep, and maybe a tiny bit of raw honey after it's steeped and cooled slightly. Honey itself has some mild sedative qualities.
Okay. When should you drink it?
About 30 to 45 minutes before you want to go to sleep. Make it part of your wind-down ritual. It's not going to knock you out like a drug. It just creates the ideal conditions, mentally and physically, for sleep to come naturally.
Like that. Setting the stage.
Exactly. And if you do it consistently, same time each night, your brain starts to associate the smell and taste with relaxation. It becomes a powerful sensory cue.
That sounds like a really lovely, effective ritual. Okay, we've had 7. You mentioned 8 foods. What's our final one?
Yes, our final powerhouse food for sleep.
Walnuts.
Walnuts. Often hear about them for brain health, right? Look a bit like little brains. They do. And they are great for your brain, but they're also fantastic for sleep. Walnuts are loaded with beneficial fats, specifically omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. These are essential fats our bodies can't make, and they are vital raw materials for producing melatonin.
Ah, so the fats themselves are building blocks for the sleep hormone.
Exactly. Your brain uses these lipids to manufacture melatonin efficiently. So eating just a few walnuts, maybe 4 or 5 before bed, can help your body produce and maintain melatonin levels.
Helping you fall asleep and stay asleep.
Yes. And they also contain magnesium. There it is again, which helps relax muscles, calm the nervous system.
Magnesium is definitely the MVP for relaxation, it seems.
It really is. And interestingly, walnuts also contain some melatonin naturally.
Oh, so you get the building blocks and a direct dose.
You do. Ready to use, no conversion needed. This can be particularly helpful if you're someone who wakes up frequently during the night. Walnuts help maintain that melatonin production.
Okay, that sounds really beneficial. Any real-world examples?
Yeah, think of someone like Martin, 67. Used to wake up 2, 3 times a night. Started adding just a small handful of walnuts to his routine in the evening, maybe with supper or shortly after. He noticed a significant change, fewer awakenings, much deeper sleep overall.
Wow. Simple again. Any tips for maximizing the benefits?
Soaking them again. Just like almonds, soaking walnuts in water for about 4 hours can help reduce phytates and improve digestion and nutrient absorption.
Okay, soaking seems like a good general tip for nuts.
It can be.
Mhm.
And another good tip, pair walnuts with a small, high-carb fruit, like that kiwi or banana we talked about.
Why the fruit pairing?
The carbs help the tryptophan in the walnuts get converted to serotonin and then melatonin more easily, helping it cross the blood-brain barrier. Plus, the good fats help sustain melatonin production overnight.
So the synergistic effect.
Exactly. An ideal little bedtime snack could be a small bowl with some soaked walnuts and maybe a few kiwi slices, about an hour before bed.
That sounds delicious and powerful.
It is. Don't underestimate walnuts. It's a quick, tasty, and scientifically supported way to help nudge your body back towards its natural sleep pattern, get that deep, rejuvenating rest that makes such a difference when you wake up. So yeah, as we wrap up this deep dive, just remember the incredible potential hidden in these everyday natural foods. They really can help improve your sleep and tackle those common, frustrating sleep issues.
Absolutely. Consistently incorporating even just one or two of these into your evening routine could really lead to more restful nights and just brighter, more energetic mornings, less tossing and turning.
Definitely encourage you to experiment a little. See which of these natural allies works best for your own body, your individual needs.
And maybe leave you with this thought. What if reconnecting with these simple, powerful solutions from nature is actually the key? The key to unlocking that truly restorative, deep sleep you've been searching for. And one last time, for more insights and deep dives like this one, please do subscribe to Elderly Guidance. We'd love to have you join us for the next exploration.